We'll be exploring its story, gameplay, and why it continues to be a fan favorite. First, let's look at the story. Like many Java titles of its time, the game adapts the plot of the animated film into a simplified, action-focused version. You play as Megamind, a blue-skinned supervillain with a genius-level intellect and a flair for dramatic speeches. Megamind has been locked in a never-ending rivalry with Metro Man, the beloved superhero of Metro City, for years. At the beginning of the game, Hero finally achieves his goal of defeating Metro Man. But instead of celebrating, something unexpected happens. Without a hero to oppose him, Megamind realizes that his life feels empty. Being a villain only made sense when there was a hero to fight. This is where the game introduces its central twist. To fill the void, Megamind decides to create a new hero titan. However, as fans of the story might expect, things don't go according to plan. Titan becomes more dangerous than any villain Megamind has ever faced. Now, he must do the unthinkable and become the hero himself. In terms of gameplay, game is a side-scrolling action platformer. Players move through different levels of Metro City, each of which is filled with enemies, obstacles, and environmental challenges. The controls are simple. You can move left and right, jump across platforms, and use different gadgets and attacks to defeat enemies. Unlike other characters, Megamind doesn't rely on brute strength. He uses his inventions. These include energy blasters, gadgets, and clever tools that reflect his scientific mind. Each level introduces new mechanics. Some stages focus on combat, where you must defeat waves of enemies. Others involve platforming challenges, such as jumping across moving platforms or avoiding danger. Every so often, you'll encounter boss fights that require timing and strategy rather than just button mashing. One of the most interesting aspects of the game is how it reflects Megamind's character development. Initially, Megamind acts like a stereotypical villain, arrogant, theatrical, and obsessed with proving himself. As the story unfolds, however, you begin to witness his transformation. Though the dialogue is minimal due to the limitations of Java, it still captures his personality. By the later stages, Megamind is no longer just trying to win. He's trying to protect the city. This shift gives the game a sense of progression beyond gameplay mechanics alone. You're not only advancing through levels, you're also witnessing a character's transformation. In Metal Gun, players are thrown into a world on the brink of collapse. The story takes place in a futuristic war zone where advanced technology and powerful weapons dominate the battlefield. Humanity is under threat, and chaos spreads through cities already reduced to ruins. At the center of this conflict is a mysterious enemy force, an organized, heavily armed group that seems almost unstoppable. Their origins are unclear, but their goal is evident: total control. You play as an elite soldier, one of humanity's last lines of defense. No long introduction or complicated backstory here. The game drops you straight into the action and makes one thing clear. Your mission is simple: survive, fight, and eliminate the enemy. Armed with an ever-growing arsenal of weapons, your character moves through enemy territory and faces wave after wave of enemies. From basic soldiers to heavily armored units, each encounter will test your reaction time and skill. One of the most exciting aspects of Metal Gun is the variety of weapons available. As you progress, you unlock and collect different types of firepower, including rapid-fire machine guns, powerful shotguns, explosive rocket launchers, and special weapons that deal massive damage. Each weapon changes the way you play. Some are better for crowd control, while others are perfect for taking down stronger enemies. Power-ups scattered across levels provide temporary advantages, making you feel unstoppable, if only for a few short moments. The enemy design keeps things interesting. You won't just face basic troops. As you progress, the game introduces the following: armored soldiers, heavy gunners, mechanical enemies, and massive bosses. Boss fights are a highlight. They often have multiple attack patterns, forcing you to adapt quickly. Defeating them is rewarding and sometimes exhausting. Each level represents a different stage of the conflict. Destroyed cities, enemy bases, industrial zones, and war-torn landscapes. As you proceed, you'll see that the enemy forces are not random attackers. They are part of a larger, organized operation. Mobile gaming in 2012 was very different from how it is today. Many games were simple and repetitive, but Metal Gun stood out because it offered smooth gameplay, challenging levels, a satisfying combat system, and a classic arcade feel. It was the kind of game you could play for a few minutes or get completely hooked on for hours. Released alongside the film, Men in Black 3 attempted to bring the franchise's action, humor, and sci-fi charm to the mobile screen. Although it didn't reach the same level of popularity as console or modern mobile games, it remains a nostalgic favorite among fans of classic mobile gaming. The game closely follows the movie's plot, putting players in Agent J's shoes. In the film, Agent J is played by Will Smith. The story begins with the escape of a dangerous alien criminal named Boris the Animal from a high-security prison on the moon. Boris isn't just any villain. He's out for revenge. His target? Agent K, Tommy Lee Jones, who captured him decades ago. But things quickly spiral out of control. When Boris travels back in time to kill Agent K before his arrest, the timeline changes completely. Suddenly, Agent K disappears from the present, leaving the world vulnerable to an alien invasion. That's where you come in. As Agent J, you must travel back to the 1960s to stop Boris, save Agent K, and restore the timeline before it's too late. The gameplay is a combination of side-scrolling and shooting mechanics, which was typical of Java mobile games of that era. Players navigate different levels while battling aliens, dodging traps, and solving simple puzzles. Despite the hardware limitations, the game successfully captures the essence of the Men in Black universe. Each level features new enemies and environments, ranging from secret government facilities to retro-styled 1960s streets. No Men in Black experience would be complete without its iconic weapons. This game features futuristic blasters inspired by the films that allow you to take down a variety of alien threats. Although the arsenal is limited compared to those of modern games, it still provides satisfying action. One of the most impressive aspects of the game is its ability to recreate the film's atmosphere within tight technical constraints. The pixel art, character sprites, and environments reflect the tone of Men in Black 3, blending humor with sci-fi action. The time travel element is even visually represented, with noticeable differences between the present and the 1960s settings. That's a wrap on today's dive into retro mobile gaming. If you enjoyed this look back at Men in Black on Java phones, please like, subscribe, and share to support more nostalgic gaming content. Thanks for watching, and remember, the universe is bigger than you think.